سورة الفاتحة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله الذي لا يبلغ مدحته القائلون ولا يحصي نعماه العادون ولا يؤدي حقه المجتهدون، الذي بعد فلا يرى وقرب فشهد النجوى تبارك وتعالى، والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء وخاتم المرسلين وشفيع المذنبين سيدنا ونبينا بالقاسم محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. واللعنة الدائمة الباقية لأعدائهم ومنكر فضائلهم وغاصب حقوقهم من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين. أما بعد، فقد قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه الكريم: والمؤمنون والمؤمنات بعضهم أولياء بعض يأمرون بالمعروف وينحون عن المنكر ويقيمون الصلاة ويؤتون الزكاة ويطيعون الله ورسوله أولئك سيرحمهم الله إن الله عزيز حكيم. صلوات. I would like to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this opportunity this year to fulfill our duty as far as the Azaa of Sayyid al-Shuhada is concerned. This institution of Azaa will live forever. Whether we are there or not, whether we establish it or not, it is there. Because this is something which has been founded by Zainab and Imam Sajjad. And the way it has been done, nobody can put this down. You know, in the Darbar of Yazid, Bibi Zainab actually challenged Yazid by saying that do whatever you can. Kid kaidak was'i sa'yak. Whatever planning you can do, you do. Wallahi la tamutu wahyuna. You will never be able to eliminate the wahy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala which came in our family. And you will never be able to eliminate our zikr and our name. And that is the pledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as a reward for the sacrifice of Bibi Zainab. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He gave us the opportunity to be part of this process. It is His work, and we thank for Him that we were able to do this azadari. And of course, as far as my role is concerned, this wouldn't have been possible without the audience which showed up every night, especially those faces that I see every night. You know, it is your presence, your attention, which gives the encouragement to continue this process. And I especially would like to appreciate those who, even though they didn't understand Urdu, but they stayed till the end of the program. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, reward all of those who have organized this and have participated in different ways in maintaining the Azaa of Sayyid al-Shuhada. Salawat. Whatever we have learned, this is all from the barakat of the Azaa of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. Means this was an opportunity to sit down and look at this purpose of Imam's mission. إنما خرجت لطلب الإصلاح في أمة جدي, where Hussein says that I have done this in order to reform the ummah of my grandfather. And that process of reform continues even now. We were able to discuss this issue of spiritual development, through this wasila of the Azaa of Sayyid al-Shuhada. And initially we talked about the importance of insan in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. and the potential that He has created in the nafs of a human being, that it can actually soar up to the level that a human being can even become greater and afdal than the malaika and the angels. Or a person wouldn't care about the importance that Allah has given to his or her nafs, and they would let it go down to the level that they go down even below the level of the animals. And so we have this choice. Either we go up or we go down. And in this process of developing our nafs, the initial problem was to identify the issue of ghaflat and heedlessness. Once we come out of that in the name of yaqza and awakening, this is where the process of cleaning the soul from the past sins comes in. The issue of tawbah comes in, the issue of inaba comes in. And after doing that process, we also have to have the second step, which is muhasaba or muraqaba, which is constantly monitoring ourselves, that shaitan does not again come and trap us. And after that, we come to a very important step, and that is the issue of zikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at the highest level, which is the issue of maintaining the consciousness of Allah's presence in our life. Finally, we came to the fourth step, which was Riyazat, which basically deals with the issue of exercising the soul, to keep it clean and to energize it even more so that it can show us the light to move forward in Salat Mustaqim. Because the danger is constant, the danger is there all the time. Every day, one of the only dua which is wajib on us is the dua in Surah Al-Hamd, Ihdina as-Salat al-Mustaqim. Oh Allah, keep us on Salat al-Mustaqim, because every step on this path, there are traps of shaitan and deviation is possible. And when we look at this issue of riyazat and exercise of the soul, there are four items as far as actions are concerned. We looked at the issue of controlling the desire for food and drink. Then we looked at the issue of fasting as an overall tool of controlling the desires in general, food and drink, as well as other physical desires. Then we came to the third action item, which was training to control our tongue, because that is one of the fundamental, causes of problems between individuals and communities and nations around the world. Finally, tonight I would like to conclude with the fourth important, action item as far as the riyazat and exercise of the soul is concerned. And this is actually in order to give more energy to the soul, in order to give it more power to the soul. And this is the issue of energizing ourselves through the process which is known as the Nawafil prayers. Salawat padhne ek baar aur. How does this play into this whole process of spiritual development? And tonight I would like to share with you some very simple matters. MashaAllah, many of you, Mombasa is known to be a jama'at of fuqaha. Many people know the masail very well. But the opportunity here is to talk about it more, to make it easier how things can be done, especially for the young people. Because many times when we hear the name Nafila, we say, oh, this is only for the old people who are retired. Or those who are, very muttaqi and parhezgar, it's not for the normal people. No. This is where we have to realize, in trying to, develop ourselves spiritually, one of the important elements is known as the Nafila prayers. Let me begin with a very famous hadith from our 11th Imam. And the timing of this hadith is very important. I talked about it briefly, I think, on Shab Ashur, where Imam is coming at the time of what we might call dawn of ghaibat. This is now the beginning of the process of ghaibat. And so Imam is now talking about the community, preparing them for the time of the ghaibat of the Imam. And he selects, he says here, I would like to talk about alamatul mu'min. What are the signs of a mu'min? And he selects 5. He could have selected any 5 important issues. But the timing just before the ghaibat shows that these are important elements for us at different levels. And there, let me present the whole hadith where he says, number 1, Salat al-Ahda wal-Khamseen, the prayer of 51 rakat. And this is where we'll come to. The second one, he says, a sign of a mu'min is ziyaratul arba'een. To go for the ziyarat of Imam Hussein on the day of Arba'een, or at least to do the ziyarat from wherever you are on that day. Number 3, this is where we come to realize that the attachment of a mu'min to Imam Hussein alayhi salam in a special manner is very, very essential. After Nawafil prayers, he says ziyarat arba'een. Then he immediately goes to the issue of some of the, apparent, zahiri signs of a mu'min. And he talks about the issue of wearing the rings. The third sign, he says, at-takhattum bil-yameen. Sign of a Shia is that he will wear the ring in his right hand. This is the issue that if we have just one ring and you have to wear, the choice of a Shia would be to wear in the right hand as a sign of a mu'min. Of course, I'm wearing here just to balance myself on both sides. But if I had only one ring, I would be wearing it on the right hand only. And this is actually, it's very interesting. If you look at the Sunni fuqaha, they talk about this issue. And they say, at-takhattum bil-yameen huwa al-masnoon. That the wearing of the ring in the right hand is the sunnah of the Prophet. But because the Shias have made a sign for themselves, we prefer to wear it only in the left hand. I don't know how, what comment would I make on that, but if you're sure this was the sunnah of Rasulullah, why don't you follow it? After all, you call yourself Ahl Sunnah. Be true to your name. But this is where Imam is emphasizing this point of at-takhattum bil yameen. Then number 4, he says, ta'firul jabeen. A Shia, one of the signs of a Shia is that when he goes into sajda, his forehead touches the earth. Turbat. It could be any turbat, but of course the turbat of Imam Hussain alayhi salam is preferred. And this is where we see that 2 of the 5 items here are related to Imam Hussain alayhi salam in a way. And then Imam ends the 5th sign, he says, وَالْجَهْرُ بِسْمِ اللَّهِ الرَّحْمَنِ الرَّحِيمِ. That one of the signs of a Shia is that whenever you do the namaz, whenever you recite a surah, whether this is a namaz where the surahs are to be recited loudly, or a namaz where you do this silently, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim will always be uttered loudly by a Shia. Because this is a beautiful ayat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and this has become a sign of the mu'mineen and the Shia of Ahlul Bayt alayhimu salatu wa salam. Salawat. But the point for us to, pay attention is that the first in the list of 5 things, Imam says namaz of 51 rakat. What is he referring to? And this is where we have to realize Imam is expecting the Shias to reach to that level. 17 rakat is wajib anyway. Then he's talking about the nafila prayers. Look at the subah namaz. Before that, we have 2 rakat. Zuhr namaz, 8 rakat before it. Asr namaz, 8 rakat before it. Then we come to Maghrib namaz, 4 rakat after it. And then after Isha, we have 2 rakat. And then 11 rakat of namaz al-shab. Totally, the number that you get is 35. And I'm sure that accountants here are very quick in the calculation. When you have 32 and 17, the total becomes 52. And Imam says 51. There's not a mistake here in hadith. Actually, the 2 rakat of Isha, nafila prayers, which is done in a sitting position, is counted as 1. And so this is where Imam is referring to when he talks about 51 rakat, which is a sign of a mu'min. Salawat. Why are the nafila prayers more important in a way? Why has the Imam emphasized? Our religion is the religion of law. 17 rakat which are wajib. We have to do it. And we do it after the sense of obligation and duty that we have. As I said it once, you might have come from your business, Zohar time, the deal didn't went well, you are angry with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Can you say you will not do the namaz today? Even if you are upset with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you still have to do namaz. You are in mood or not, you are tired or not, the 17 rakat is wajib. And Allah says, I just want you to do it. I don't care what is your mood at that time. But nafila prayer, the beauty of nafila prayers is that this is done voluntarily. It is not done out of the sense of obligation and duty. It is actually done out of the sense of love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is actually a way of communicating to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on a personal level. And therefore you will see that in the Shia fiqh, for the 5 wajib namaz, the emphasis is that go and do it in Jamaat form. When it comes to the nafila prayers, the emphasis is to do it alone. Not only to do it alone, actually you are not allowed to do nafila in a Jamaat form. And why? The daily wajib namaz, it is recommended to do in the Jamaat form because it has a social aspect to it, communal aspect to it, where we learn the sense of unity and equality in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We come to know one another. But nafila is not for social aspect of Islam. Nafila is for you. It's you and your Lord. And therefore the emphasis is do it alone. If you are able to do it in isolation, it is the best way of doing it. When we look at the Taraweeh prayer done by the Sunni Muslims, we don't have a problem with the Muslim brothers. No, they can do it. We don't have a problem with the idea of nafila prayers in the month of Ramadan. The only problem we have is the format. Because the sunnah of Rasulullah is that nafila prayers are to be done as furada, not in Jamaat form. Otherwise, in our own fiqh, and this is the sad part, we actually oppose Taraweeh, not as a concept, but the format of Taraweeh. Otherwise, in our own fiqh, they are recommended prayers for the nights of the month of Ramadan. Every night, it is recommended to do 20 rakat in 2 rakat each for 30 nights. From the eve of 21st of Ramadan till the end, you add 10 more rakat. And if you calculate it, this is where you get 700 rakat. 20 rakat every day for 30 days, 600. And then you add 10 more for 10 days. You have 100 there, 700. And then 3 Shab-e Qadr. Recommended 100 rakat each. What is the total number you're getting? 1,000 rakat recommended during the month of Ramadan. While we say Taraweeh in the Jamaat form is not valid, it's not acceptable from our point of view, unfortunately we forget that in our own fiqh there is a process. But do it alone. Maximize that time of the nights of Ramadan to do the nafila prayers in order to gain the special blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Salawat. It is these extra prayers known as nafila prayers. Nafila basically means a gift. Means these are not mandatory. We are doing extra here. And when we do this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala actually, gives a special nur to those who do that. Just one ayat on this issue. This is an ayat from Surah Sajda, ayat number 15 to 17. I wouldn't recite the first one, otherwise all of you will have to go to Sajda. But I'll read the translation of the first ayat and go to the second one, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنَّمَا يُؤْمِنُ بِآيَاتِنَا. Verily, those who believe in our ayat, when they are zukkiru, when they are reminded of the ayat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Remember, zikr is an important element in spiritual development. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that the believers, when they are reminded of the, of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they go into sajda and they praise Him, out of their sense of thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they are not arrogant. This issue of doing sajda is a sign of humility in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then He says, who are these people? One of the qualities of these is تَتَجَافَى جُنُوبُهُمْ عَنِ الْمَضَاجِعِ. These true believers, when they remember Allah, they go into sajda. These are the people who actually pull their weight of their body away from the bed to do what? يَدْعُونَ رَبَّهُمْ تَمْعًا وَخَوْفًا. They talk to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They pray to Him out of the sense of, the hope for forgiveness and the fear of azab. Means they maintain this khawf and raja, hope and fear on an equal basis on their life, in their life. They do not let the azab of Allah overcome them to lose the hope, and they do not even give the hope that much importance that they, don't care about what is haram and what is halal. And this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about Him, and then He says, these are the one, these are the people, وَمِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ يُنْفِقُونَ. They also give charity from what we have given to them. Hear the words, تَتَجَافَى جُنُوبَهُمْ عَنِ الْمَضَاجِعِ. They pull their body, the sides of their body from the bed. What does this mean? This is referring to namaz al-shab. It is the night time. It is a time to sleep. But these are the people who would actually sacrifice their sleep. They will force themselves to leave the bed and worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Not as a wajib duty, but out of the sense of the law for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Salawat pढ़ने एक बार. The next ayat there is very amazing. And I'll come to the hadith on this ayat. Well, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala now says, فَلَا تَعْلَمُ نَفْسٌ مَا أُخْفِيَ لَهُمْ مِنْ قُرَّةَ عَيْنٍ جَزَاءً بِمَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ. He says, no one knows. No one knows what has been kept in secret. The most delightful of the reward for what they have been doing. The reward of namaz al-shab, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says nobody knows. And He says, I have, kept it secret. قُرَّةَ عَيْنٍ. This will be the delight for their eye when they see it. And this is the jaza'an bima kanu ya'malun. Our Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq alayhi salatu wa salam, in commentary of this ayat, he says, وَمَا مِنْ حَسَنَةٍ إِلَّا وَلَهَا ثَوَابٌ مُبَيِّنٌ فِي الْقُرْآنِ. He says most of the things mentioned in the Quran, the good deeds, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the reward that He is going to give to them. إِلَّا صَلَاةَ اللَّيْلِ. Except when it comes to the reward for namaz al-shab, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, no, this is a secret. I would like you to wait for it. And we can only long for it and desire for it and wait for it if we do it. But He says this is so precious that it will be قُرَّةَ عَيْنٍ. It will be the delight of your eyes on the day of Qiyamah. Salawat pढ़ने एक बार और. But how we do this? I'm sure many of you know the Messiah, and many of you are, inshallah, practicing this much better than me. But let me, share with you some of the a simple way of how to do these things, especially for the young people. Number one, all the nafila prayers, as a rule. Even when we say 20 rakat, it means 2 rakat 10 times. When we say 10 rakat, it means 2 rakat 5 times. So as a principle, all the nafila prayers are 2 rakat, not more than that. The only exception is a prayer known as Salatul Witr, part of Namaz al-Shab. Witr means single, as opposed to the other one which comes after it, which is known as Shafa', which means double. And then the names have been given because of the rakat. Witr means single, which means one. And that is a special, namaz, part of Namaz al-Shab. And that is the only one you do single. Otherwise, all nafila prayers, sunnat prayers are 2 rakat each. There is nothing 3 or 4 or more. And when it comes to the witr prayer, although it's 1 rakat, but it is a qunut. And the qunut of the witr prayer is the longest of all. This is where actually you pray. You name 40 mu'mineen, 40 believers in your namaz al-shab. This is where you have to realize that although you are doing, this is a personal dua between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in this Surah Tawbah, al-mu'minun wal-mu'minat ba'duhum awliya'u ba'd. There is this relationship of wilayat and friendship between the mu'mineen. Do not forget them even in your private du'as. And so in namaz al-witr, in the qunut, one of the main things that you mentioned 40 mu'mineen. You can include your family members, you can include the ulama or the teachers who inspired you, the people who have guided you, and this is where we see that, there's a lot of room there. And inshallah, if you do that, if you're doing it before, because what I'm saying now, try to, remember this humble servant of Islam also. So I can get the sawab, as a piggy bank to you, inshallah. Salawat, It's also a qunut where you end up saying, 70 times, where you say, Astaghfirullah Rabbi wa atubu ilayh. And you end by saying, Al-afu, Al-afu, as many times as you can. The recommendation is to do it, at least 300 times, which is asking pardon from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if you really think about it, while you are mentioning the word Al-afu, Al-afu, Al-afu in the qunut, try to think about the day which passed. Think the moments you might have done things which you don't like. You realize this was a mistake. Keep those in mind and utter the words Al-afu. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will shower His blessings, and He will cover you with His rahmah and maghfirah, inshallah. Salawat. This qunut in namaz al-witr, the Prophet says actually, أطولكم قنوطا في الوتر. Anyone who prolongs, the longer you do the qunut in witr, the longer will be the moments of your easiness on the day of Qiyamah. And so this has been emphasized by the Prophet and our Imams. One of the other things which can make things flexible when we talk about nafila prayers, Alhamd is there in the both rakat. And in many, many different namaz, even in namaz al-shab, because when you do the 8 rakat, 4 times, 2 each, there are different surahs, second surahs after Alhamd, which are recommended. You have the option that if you find you can't remember those specific surahs, recite Surah Qul Huwallah. You even have the option of just doing Surah Al-Fatiha and omitting the second surah if you find that the time is not allowing you, or you are just new into it. This is what you do in order to get used to the system, so that you can extend this later on. Even the timings of nafila prayers, unlike the wajib prayers, when it comes to nafila, there is a lot of flexibility. Look at namaz al-shab. The proper time is between the midnight and the fajr. But if you don't, you cannot really stay awake for that long, till midnight. Or you will not be able to get up that much before dawn time, fajr time, to do namaz al-shab. You can do it even before midnight. Especially for the elderly people or the young people, if you find that there are going to be barriers in your way in this path, you can even do namaz al-shab before the midnight time. There's so much flexibility there. Even when it comes to Zohar time, for example. 8 rakat of Zohar and 8 rakat of Asr, you have to do it before it. So, now you're in the masjid already or at home. It's not your zawal time. What do? You have the flexibility of doing the nafila of Zohar and Asr before the zawal. The actual time is after the zawal. But you can even do it prior to that. And this is where we see that, with all this flexibility, we should indeed try to avail this vehicle of, improving ourselves spiritually. Not only these recitations and the timing, even the format. In nafila prayer, even though you have the time and the ability and the health, you don't necessarily have to do it in the normal way. If there is a lady there in the kitchen doing her, cooking for the family, she can actually do her nafila while she is doing her cooking also. Even though you're moving around, you recite the surah. When it comes to ruku, do the ishara. When you come to sajda, do the ishara. You don't have to go in the actual format. And when we are doing namaz, nafila prayers in that format, not normal format, qibla is not anymore a requirement. Sometimes, in North America, traveling takes a long time from your home to office or back. And I say maybe sometimes, use that time, sitting there, frustration with the traffic, do the nafila prayers. But I say, make sure your eyes is there on the traffic light. Don't say Maulana Rizvi said, do nafila while you are driving and you had an accident. No, but the issue is that flexibility is there. And if the flexibility is there, why don't we avail that, opportunity? Whether it is the lady at home or you working in the office, even you are going for your walk. And if the time is there, you can do your walk as well as you can do your nafila prayers. And so this is where we see, there is a lot of flexibility when it comes to the doing of nafila prayers. Salawat padhne ek baar aur. For the young people, this is not for the old people only. The problem is, whenever we talk about taqwa in our social consciousness, the way we have been brought up, we always say, oh, taqwa, parhezgari, and old face comes to mind. Abhi to hamari jawani hai, jawani ke saath diwani hai. Even when it comes to our young children, we say, abhi bachpana hai iska. Abhi jawan hai. The issue of taqwa and, the issue of developing ourselves spiritually has nothing to do with age. I don't have that much time, but let me, give you this message. If you look at all our imams have a first name, which is their name. And then they have titles. Ali is Murtaza, Hassan is Mushtaba, Hussein is Shaheed, Ali is Zainul Abidin, Muhammad is Al-Baqir, Ja'far is As-Sadiq. All these titles. Actually, any of the titles can be used for others. Ali is Shaheed, isn't it? Hussein is Al-Murtaza, Hussein is Al-Mushtaba, Ali, Hussein is Zainul Abidin, Imam Musa al-Kazim is Zainul Abidin. You can switch the titles and it would fit any of the imams. But there is a reason why, it has been emphasized, the good qualities, in different imams in different ways. If you look at the title At-Taqi, which signifies taqwa, righteousness, piety, parhezgari, we have the image of the old age. But the youngest of the imam, our ninth imam, his imamate started when he was only 8 or 9 years old. Youngest of our imam has the title At-Taqi. So taqwa has nothing to do with age. It is for all. And so when we talk about this issue of nafila also, sometimes we say, at least, let them do wajib. Yes, the wajib is wajib. But let us encourage them even more. Because, at the end you will realize you encourage them this much and they will end up with this much. But if you only encourage them for wajib, our children, you will see then they will be, relapse, even when it comes to the wajibat. Amir al-Mu'minin Ali bin Abi Talib alayhi salatu was salam talks about this, spiritual state, and he says something very beautiful where he says, "Inna lil qulub iqbalan wa idbaran." This is Nahj Balagha. He says the hearts go through different, states. There is iqbal and idbar. Iqbal means it is willing to do what you want it to do. Idbar means it is going back. You want it to do something, but it's going back. It's not listening that much. And human beings go through that phase. Nobody is at the same level all the time. You just have to make sure you are able to go, if you are 2 steps behind, you are able to go 3 steps more later on. And Amir al-Mu'minin says, فَإِذَا أَقْبَلَتْ فَحْمِلُوهَا عَلَى النَّوَافِلِ. When you find that your spiritual heart is willing, then maximize the nawafil. Because your heart is the heart is with you. But then he says, وَإِذَا أَدْبَرَتْ فَاقْتَصِرُ بِهَا عَلَى الْفَرَائِضِ. But if you find that your spiritual heart is not with you, rebelling to some extent, then at least force it to fulfill what is wajib. So we have to look at our own situation. If we feel that, we are on that state where the heart is with us, let us maximize that moment and do the nawafil also. For the young people, I would say start gradually. Our problem is, Muharram came, we heard all these good things. It inspired us, and we all of a sudden are charged up and we want to do it one day, start everything. Or in Ramadan, we get energized, we have this new spirit, and we want to start everything next day after Eid. Don't go that fast. Go gradually. Our Aimma have emphasized consistency is better than the quantity. It doesn't have to be that level. Wherever you are, if you're able to maintain it, that is the main thing. So even in Nawafil, start gradually. Start with the weekends. When you don't have to go to school, you don't have to go to college, or you're not going to work. And even in the Nafila prayers, be selective. You don't have to do all the number of rakat that you hear. In Namaz al-Shaf, for example, only do witr and shafa. Or only witr, 1 rakat, the long one. You don't have to do the whole, sometimes people think, oh, you have to do the whole 11 rakat. No. You can only do 1 of it. Or just 2 of it. So this is how you start gradually. So you get into the habit of it. In Zohar and Asr, we say 8 rakat, 2 each, 4 times. Well, you don't have to do a whole, 8 rakat. If you can just do 2 rakat, just do 2 rakat. But then try to maintain that consistency. When it comes to Maghrib, the same thing. When it comes, this is how even the number of rakat you can actually start gradually. And then when it comes to the holiday time, think about it. Then now it's holiday, there are no pressure of work or school and studies and exam. Let me take this opportunity. When we go to vacation, we don't think about it. But think about it. Why not, maximize that time? There is no worry, nothing to do. Do the nafila at that time. Especially the winter season. Here, of course, you are in tropical areas. Most of the time the day and night is the same. For us in the north, in Canada, winter is very, very long nights. The days are short. And probably looking at that fluctuation of the timing, our Aimma actually use a description where they say, Ash-shita rabi'ul mu'min. Shita is the winter time. And the Aimma have said that winter season is actually the spring season for a mu'min. Why? Because there is longer night where they will have more opportunity to do the nafilah and the ibadat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Salawat. Not only that, actually you can use, you remember I talked about the issue of the fasting, the recommended fasting, instead of just doing it sunnah, why don't we do as qaza? We can use the nafilah prayers for do the qaza of our wajib missed prayers. And if you do it with that intention that, I wanted to do the nafilah, this is the time, but I have qaza prayer and therefore I'm doing the wajib qaza prayer, and that will be the only niyat you have. Because behind your mind you had that intention that I'm using the nafilah time, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is gracious to give you the sawab for both. If you look at all the prayers, Fajr has nafilah prayers, 2 rakat. If you have qaza, well, do it with the niyat of qaza and do that current Fajr namaz after it. When we talk about the Zuhr, there are 8 rakat, but you can do it 4 rakat as qaza. When it comes to Asr, of course, when you're doing as qaza, you have to fulfill the whole number. You can't, in nafilah you do 2, 2, 2, but if it's Zuhr, it's 4 rakat. You are just using that time in order to do the qaza, and this is where you get the benefit of fulfilling the qaza and also get the reward for the nafilah prayers. And this is where you will be able to actually, maintain the routine. And a time will come you realize that you have been able to do, many, many years of the qaza missed prayers of the past. And then even when we come to the namaz al-shab, the 8 rakat that we have, we can use that also. Starting with 2 rakat, qaza of fajr, then 4 rakat for zuhr, 4 for asr, and then of course, witr has its own importance and maintain it the way it is. And so all these namaz, whether attached to the daily prayers or namaz al-shab, there is a possibility to use that in order to do our qaza prayer. Salawat. One of the important benefits of doing the nafilah prayers, besides this whole spiritual element, is that this works as a remedy for our deficiency in the wajib prayers. Imam Muhammad al-Baqir alayhi salatu was salam once, mentioned to his companion, there was a group of them, that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts the prayers of the people depending on their intention and their heart, whether it was with their, proper intention or not. So he says sometimes, nisfuha or sulsuha, only half of the namaz will be accepted, or only 1/3, or 1/4, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala looks at the intention of the person. A companion there, said, Imam, if this is the situation, we are doomed. None of us have been able to maintain the concentration and the total attention from beginning to the end. And this is where Imam says, don't worry. Do your nafilah prayers. Your nafilah prayers will be used to redeem whatever deficiency was there in your wajib prayers. So many times we worry, what will happen to our wajib prayers? They are accepted or not? Well, one way out of that is to do the nafilah prayers. That will help us. So whatever missing, part is there as far as spirituality is concerned, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept the nafilah as a deficiency for the wajib namaz. Salawat. I'm running out of the time here, and I'm also running out of the town tomorrow. So, but anyway, I don't think I have to worry about the time then. But let me mention to you something I have heard, and maybe you have been told about it. Now, I just would like to clarify. There is a namaz known as namaz al-Ghufayla, recommended prayers between Maghrib and Isha. And sometimes we are told that instead of 4 rakat namaz nafila of Maghrib, you can do 2 rakat as nafila, 2 rakat as ghufayla. It is a very important namaz, but sometimes people would like to exaggerate this. And I don't know where they come up with this story that Yazid one day felt sorry for what he had done, and he asked Imam Zainul Abidin that, what do I do to get out of this sin of killing your father? And we are told that Imam Sajjad says, recite namaz ghufayla. You start thinking about it. What is this? And the narration goes on that Bibi Zainab was there, she heard it, she was very upset with her nephew. She said, why did you show him the way to get, forgiven? The point is, think about namaz ghufayla. Yes, it is important. But it is in no way even closer to the blood of Hussein bin Ali. Don't tell me that reciting 2 rakat namaz of ghufayla will be a basis for Yazid being forgiven for killing Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Sometimes our wa'izin really go overboard in emphasizing a point, not realizing what they are doing. Actually, they are diminishing the value of the blood and the life of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. So keep this in mind. It is important, yes, but not important to the level that if Yazid recited it, he will be forgiven for what he had done. This is something which is not going to happen in any way. Salawat padhne ek baar aur. نماز شب کی اہمیت کے بارے میں ایک دو اور جملے آپ کے سامنے پیش کرنا چاہ رہے ہیں کہ جہاں تک اس کے اثر کی بات ہے روحانیت پر، خود چوتھے امام سے جو زین العابدین ہیں، عبادت کی زینت ہیں، ان سے پوچھا گیا تھا کہ مولا یہ کیا بات ہے کہ وہ لوگ جو نماز شب پڑھتے ہیں ان کے چہرے میں نورانیت زیادہ ہوتی ہے، اور امام یہی فرما رہے ہیں کہ وجہ یہ ہے کہ بندہ جب بالکل تنہائی میں نماز شب ادا کرتا ہے، یہ صرف بندہ اور رب کی بات ہے، اور یہ جو 1-to-1 کنورسیشن ہے، خداوند عالم کو یہ اتنا پسند ہے کہ خداوند عالم جو ہے اپنے نور کو ان پر نازل کرتا ہے اور اس کا ظہور ہوتا ہے ان کے چہرے پر. تو یہ دنیا کے اس کے منفعت اور بینیفٹ کی بات ہے. لیکن دوسری طرف ایک اور روایت امیر المومنین کے سن لیں کہ بیریئر کیا ہے نماز شب کے لیے. ایک حدیث میں مولا فرماتے ہیں کہ فی قیام اللیل مال اکثار من الطعام. یہ حدیث میں 3 چیزیں ہیں جہاں امام فرماتے ہیں کہ 3 things cannot come together. نمبر 1 امام کہتے ہیں کہ اگر تم چاہتے ہو کہ رات کو نماز ادا کرو نماز شب، تو پھر زیادہ کھانے سے پرہیز کرنا ہوگا. اوور ایٹنگ اینڈ اسٹینڈنگ اپ فار نماز شب ڈونٹ گو ہینڈ ٹو ہینڈ. تو یہ تو ہے ہی یہی سی انسان کے صحت کے لیے بہتر ہے کہ وہ رات کو جو ہے اتنا کم کھائے کہ جب سونے جائے تو ایک لحاظ سے ڈائجسٹ ہو چکا ہو، اور اس کے روحانیت کے لیے بھی بہتر ہے تاکہ وہ نماز شب ادا کر سکے. اور دوسری بات امام فرماتے ہیں، چونکہ حدیث ہے تو آپ کے سامنے پیش کر لیں، وَلَا فِي نُورِ الْوَجْهِ مَعَ النَّوْمِ فِي اللَّيْلِ كُلُّهُ. چہرے کی نورانیت نہیں آ سکتی ہے اگر انسان پوری رات صرف سونے میں گزارے. خدا پسند کرتا ہے کہ اپنے نیند سے، اپنے گرم بستر کو چھوڑ کے تھوڑی دیر کے لیے مجھ سے ناز اور عبادت کرو. اور اس کے بعد آخری بیان ہے وَلَا فِي الْأَمَانِ مِنَ الدُّنْيَا مَا مُصَاحِبَةِ الْفُسَّاقِ. اگر دنیا میں امان چاہتے ہو تو پھر فاسق لوگوں کی دوستی مت کرو. اگر فاسقوں کے ساتھ دوستی کرو گے تو تمہیں دنیا میں امن و امان نہیں ملے گا. آخری حدیث اس سلسلے میں، چونکہ ہم نے امام عسکری علیہ السلام کی روایت شروع کی تھی 5 مومن کے 5 علامات کے سلسلے میں، ایک اور لیٹر ہے امام کا شیخ صدوق کے فادر کا نام. اسی پہ ہم ختم کرنا چاہیں گے، جہاں امام شیخ صدوق کے فادر کو بہت ہی رسپیکٹ کے ساتھ ایڈریس کرتے ہیں، یا شیخی و معتمدی و فقیہی. کتنا عظیم مرتبہ ہے ان کا کہ ایک معصوم امام کہیں کہ اے میرے شیخ، اے وہ جس پر ہم اعتماد کرتے ہیں، وہ میرے مذہب کا فقیہ ہے. یا ابو الحسن علی بن الحسین القمی، خداوند عالم آپ کی توفیقات میں اضافہ فرمائے. پھر اس خط میں کچھ نصیحتیں کی ہیں. ایک نصیحت ہے وعلیک بصلاۃ اللیل، ہم تمہیں ایڈوائز کرتے ہیں کہ نماز شب پڑھو، اس لیے کہ نبی نے علی سے وصیت کی تھی، یا علی علیک بصلاۃ اللیل، علیک بصلاۃ اللیل، علیک بصلاۃ اللیل. نبی نے علی سے بھی 3 بار ریپیٹ کر کے کہا تھا کہ علی نماز شب کو کبھی ترک نہ کرنا. پھر رسول اللہ فرماتے ہیں اس حدیث کے مطابق 11ویں امام نے جو بیان کیا ہے، من استخف بصلاۃ اللیل فلیس منا. رسول اللہ فرماتے ہیں وہ شخص جو نماز شب کو ہلکا سمجھے وہ ہم میں سے نہیں ہے. اور آخر میں امام نے اس خط میں لکھا تھا شیخ صدوق کے فادر کو، فعمل بوصیتی، میرے وصیت پر عمل کرو، وَأْمُرْ جَمِيعَ شِيعَتِي بِمَا أَمَرْتُكَ بِهِ حَتَّى يَعْمَلُ بِهِ. اور جو حکم ہم نے تم کو دیا ہے دوسرے تمام شیعوں تک یہ حکم پہنچا دو تاکہ وہ بھی اس پر عمل کریں. 11ویں امام کی یہ نصیحت ہے، وصیت ہے تمام شیعوں کے ذریعے کہ وہ نماز شب کو وہ برقرار رکھیں. ہمارے لیے اگر انسپریشن ہمیں چاہیے نماز شب کے حوالے سے، تو جناب زینب سے بڑھ کے ہمیں انسپریشن نہیں مل سکتا ہے. امیر المومنین نے ذکر الہی کے بارے میں ایک جملہ کہا ہے نہج بلاغہ میں کہ جو بندہ خداوند عالم کو ہمیشہ یاد کرے، خداوند عالم اس کے دل و دماغ میں اس کے ساتھ کلام کرتا ہے، الہام کے عنوان سے انسپائر کرتا ہے باتوں کو، اس میں وہ انسائٹ اور وہ بصیرت عطا کرتا ہے جو دوسروں کو نہیں ملتی ہے. ان کے دل میں جو ہے نور آتا ہے جو خداوند عالم نے صرف ذاکرین کے رکھا ہے، وہ لوگ جو اللہ کو ہمیشہ یاد کرتے ہیں. اور اس سلسلے میں اگر مثال دیکھنی ہو تو جناب زینب کی مثال ہے، خصوصاً نماز شب کے حوالے سے. آپ سوچ لیں عاشور کا دن زینب کے پرسپیکٹو سے آپ دیکھیں، یہ وہ دن ہے کہ جہاں ان کے گھر کے 18 افراد، ایک موت کی بات نہیں ہے، گھر میں 18 افراد ایک دن میں قتل کر دیے جائیں بے رحمی کے ساتھ. یہ وہ خاتون ہے کہ جس نے اس صدمے کو دیکھا ہے. یہ وہ خاتون ہے کہ جو 3 دن سے پیاسی ہیں. یہ وہ خاتون ہے کہ جنہوں نے دیکھا ہے کہ بھائی اور بیٹے اور بھتیجے اور رشتہ داروں کے قتل کے بعد ان کی چادروں کو لوٹا گیا، ان کے سامان کو لوٹا گیا، ان کے زیورات کو لوٹا گیا، ان کے خیموں کو آگ جلا دی گئی. یہ وہ خاتون ہیں کہ ان تمام مصائب کو دیکھنے کے بعد عاشور کا دن جب ختم ہوتا ہے، وہ بی بی اب مقتل میں نکلتی ہیں ام کلثوم کے ساتھ تاکہ تمام بچوں کو جمع کر سکیں. آخر میں سب کو جمع کرنے کے بعد، اہل حرم کو سب کو جمع کرنے کے بعد، ایک ٹینٹ جو بنایا گیا تھا بعد میں عمر سعد کے حکم سے، اس میں سب کو لے آتی ہیں وہ تاکہ ان کی حفاظت کر سکیں. ان تمام مصائب کو جھیلنے کے بعد، ان تمام تکلیفوں کو جھیلنے کے بعد وہ شب آتی ہے جسے ہم شام غریبہ کہتے ہیں ہمارا. اس شب میں کسی انسان کو آپ رکھ دیں، بہت ہی طاقت اور ہمت والا بھی ہو، اگر اس شب میں اس نے اپنی واجب نماز کو ادا کیا ہو تو ہم اسے سیلوٹ کریں گے. اتنی پریشانی اور مصائب کے بعد لیکن زینب نے اس شب 11 محرم کو بھی نہ صرف واجب نماز کو ادا کیا ہے بلکہ اپنی نماز شب کو بھی ترک نہیں کیا.
دو روایت ملتی ہیں، دو گواہ ملتے ہیں، ایک فاطمہ بنت الحسین ہے، حسین کی بڑی بیٹی، اور امام زین العابدین کہتے ہیں کہ اس رات کو بھی ہم نے اپنی پھوپھی کو نماز شب پڑھتے ہوئے دیکھا ہے، لیکن امام زین العابدین کہتے ہیں کہ اس رات جو ہم نے نماز دیکھی ہے پھوپھی کی، اس کی کیفیت کچھ اور تھی۔ عام طور سے زینب جو ہے نارمل طریقے سے نماز پڑھتی تھی، لیکن اس شب جو ہے نماز شب کے لیے زینب بیٹھ کے پڑھ رہی تھی۔ جناب زین العابدین نے جا کے پوچھا ہے پھوپھی یہ وجہ کیا ہے کہ آج بیٹھ کے پڑھ رہی ہے؟ اس وقت زینب کہتی ہیں کہ اے بیٹا، ہم اتنے کمزور ہو چکے ہیں، اتنے تھک چکے ہیں، میرے زانو میرا ساتھ نہیں دے رہے ہیں، پیر میں چھالے پڑ چکے ہیں، مقتل میں بچوں کی تلاش میں نکلی تھی، آج مجھے ہمت نہیں ہے کہ ہم کھڑے ہو کے نماز پڑھیں، لہٰذا نماز شب کو ہم بیٹھ کے ادا کر رہے ہیں۔ عزاداران حسین، یہ صرف شب 11 کی بات نہیں ہے، بلکہ امام زین العابدین کی ایک اور روایت ملتی ہے کہ کوفہ سے شام کا جو سفر تھا، اس شام کے سفر میں بھی ہر شب میں جناب زینب نے نماز شب کو ادا کیا ہے، لیکن وہاں بھی ایک منزل آتی ہے کہ زینب بیٹھ کے پڑھنے لگی۔ دوبارہ سید سجاد نے پوچھا، تب بی بی فرماتی ہے کہ جو روٹی ملتی ہے وہ سب کے لیے کافی نہیں ہوتی ہے، میں اپنے حصے کی روٹی بچوں میں تقسیم کر دیتی ہوں، اب کمزوری کا احساس ہے، تمہاری پھوپھی جو ہے کھڑے ہو کر نماز شب ادا نہیں کر سکتی ہے۔ عزاداران حسین، زینب کے نماز شب کی عظمت کو سمجھنا ہے تو حسین کے آخری الوداع کو یاد کرے کہ زینب سے جو آخری گفتگو ہوئی ہے، یہ معصوم امام نے آخری وقت میں بہن سے ایک التماس کیا ہے، فرماتے ہیں یا اختہ لا تنسانی فی صلاۃ اللیل، اے بہن مجھے نماز شب میں اس بھائی کو مت بھولنا، یہ اتنی عظمت خاتون ہے، ان کی نماز شب بھی اتنی عظیم ہے کہ حسین جیسا سید شباب اہل جنہ وہ درخواست کرتا ہے زینب سے کہ مجھے نماز شب کی قنوت میں یاد کرنا۔ عزاداران حسین، 11 محرم کا دن آیا، عمر بن سعد نے اپنے لشکر کے مقتولین کو دفن کیا، لیکن حسین اور آل حسین اور اصحاب حسین کی لاشیں کو چھوڑ دیتا ہے۔ آخر میں اعلان ہوتا ہے کہ اب اسیروں کو بھی تیار کیا جائے کوفہ لے جانے کے لیے۔ سواریاں آتی ہیں جس پر محمل تھی، لیکن پردے کا انتظام نہ تھا، اور عمر بن سعد نے سپاہیوں سے کہا کہ جا کے اہل حرم کو سواری پر سوار کرو۔ جیسے ہی وہ آگے بڑھتے ہیں، زینب سامنے آتی ہے کہ اے عمر سعد، تجھے شرم نہیں آتی ہے؟ یہ خاندان رسول کی عورتیں ہیں، تمہارے سپاہی قریب نہ آئے، ہم خود ایک دوسرے کو سوار کریں گے۔ زینب ام کلثوم نے ہر بیوی کو سوار کیا، آخر میں زینب نے ام کلثوم کو بھی سوار کیا، لیکن آخر میں جب دائیں دیکھتی ہیں، بہنیں دیکھتی ہیں، زینب نے دیکھا اب کوئی نہیں، عجب نہیں کہ فرات کی طرف اس رخ کیا ہوگا، آواز دی ہوگی عباس جب مدینے سے چلے تھے تم نے سہارا دیا تھا، آج زینب کربلا میں تنہا ہے۔ عزاداران حسین، یہ قافلہ روانہ ہوا، بس ایک منظر کو بیان کر کے مجلس ختم کرنا چاہیں گے کہ جب ان اسیروں کو شہداء کے لاش کے قریب سے گزارا گیا، جناب ام کلثوم اور زینب نے اپنے کو حسین کے لاش پر گرایا اور رونا شروع کر دیا، لیکن روتے روتے ایک مرتبہ کربلا میں ہم نے عجیب منظر دیکھا ہے۔ عام طور سے مصائب میں مرد جو ہیں صبر کرتے ہیں، خواتین میں صبر کا مادہ نہیں ہوتا ہے، لیکن کربلا میں ہم نے کچھ اور دیکھا ہے زینب حسین کے لاش پر رو رہی تھی، لیکن روتے روتے ایک مرتبہ جب نظر جاتی ہے عابد بیمار پر تو زینب نے صبر کر لیا اور کہتی ہیں بیٹا یہ تیرے چہرے کی کیا کیفیت ہو رہی ہے، یہ نہ ہو کہ تیری روح جو ہے جسم سے مفارقت کر جائے۔ اس وقت امام نے کہا پھوپھی جان میری کیفیت کیوں نہ ہو، ہم زندہ بھی ہیں جوان بھی ہیں، لیکن بابا کا لاشا، بھائیوں کا لاشا، اب چچاؤں کا لاشا بے گور و کفن کربلا میں چھوڑ کے